Music. Music is a very important part of our lives. From the time we are born into our growing phase, even our latter years, we become closely dependent on music.
Music has the power to alter our moods, our emotions, our perception of joy and sorrow. Without music, a festival will not seem as much fun, and a wedding would just be a tedious ritual.
But Shalini, did you know that apart from our minds, music also affects our bodies?
Indeed, music is very effective in producing a deep and a healing state of relaxation. It is also very efficient in reducing stress.
Let me tell you about an interesting incident mentioned in the book written by Vimal Kumar Mohanlal Dhami. It's about musician Pandit Motiram. In the year 1932, the Nizam of Adalabad had many concerts by musician Pandit Motiram. In these concerts, many various people used to attend, one of which was Dr. Lakshmikant Rao Deshpande, who used to attend Panditji's all concerts. But for continuously 2 or 3 concerts, he was not to be seen. So Panditji decided to pay him a visit. On arriving to his house, he realized that the doctor was burning with fever. Panditji told him that, "Doctor, you always monitor injections to us to cure us of our ailments, but today I am going to monitor injection on you." At this, the doctor started laughing. Panditji paid no heed to him and made him listen to one of his ragas. And miraculously, the doctor's fever vanished. Born in the Mewati Gharana of Jodhpur in the year 1889, Pandit Motiram is none other than the father of singer Pandit Jasraj. The doctor was given nothing but a dose of music and raga therapy.
Music and raga therapy is an established alternate therapy that uses the power of music and classical raga to improve the quality of life of healthy people as well as in improving the health of people with illness.
It is believed that Indian classical music has the capability to surround the listener with a deep and calming mood effect, the same he gets when he envisions a sunset. As the music floats into the atmosphere, it surrounds the listener with a sense of healing and relaxation.
Indeed, when a person listens to soft and soothing music, happiness molecules are released in his or her body. These happiness molecules help in reducing the levels of stress and depression in our body. Thus, we can say that music and raga therapy plays a very important role in our life because the base of all diseases is nothing but stress.
Hospitals across the globe have experimented with classical music and have come up with extremely positive response from patients suffering from various ailments. Now let's try and understand the process in a more scientific manner. Our brain experiences 4 different types of waves, namely alpha wave, beta wave, theta wave, and delta wave. When we go about our daily chores in our life and when we are calm, we are experiencing the alpha wave. But when we experience strong emotions, we slip into the beta wave.
We are under the influence of theta waves when we are at our creative best, or sleeping, or meditating, or experiencing an inspiring mood. Lastly, we use delta waves when we are in deep sleep or deep meditation.
So when we hear different kinds of music, the music actually affects our brain's alpha, beta, theta, or delta state, thereon affecting our moods, which makes us react differently.
Today, music and raga therapy is increasingly being used to manage stress and promote wellness and overall physical rehabilitation.
In today's fast-paced world, we experience stress on a daily basis. Reducing stress is very important for our well-being.
Anyone can enjoy the benefits of music and raga therapy, either by listening to it on their home systems or even using headphones.
Very correct, Shalini. Now let us go into a little bit more detail on how music promotes healing.
Classical music is the key to mental and physical health. Our brain responds very positively to classical music by moving from beta state to alpha, then the theta, and finally it reaches the delta state. In Indian classical music, the ragas have the ability to calm the nerves and put the listener in a relaxed mode. Human body behaves just like a musical instrument. It responds and resonates in consonance with music. And this response makes our body undergo changes of heartbeat, breathing, blood flow, and circulation of energy in various parts of the body.
We will now tell you how this particular music and raga therapy session works and how you can prepare yourself to benefit from it.
The 7 notes or the Sat Sur are a complete therapy in itself. What is important is how we use these 7 notes in the form of various ragas to heal. We have tried to systematize the ragas with ailments to make it easier for the patients to listen to a particular raga for a particular ailment. These specific ragas keep the body balanced as the curative power of music emerges from the swaras.
Regular listening to a particular raga for a particular disease produces a network of sound variations. The muscle and nerves of the affected area are contracted when a music note is given and relaxed between the interval of the 2 music notes. Thus, during the expansion and contraction of the muscles and nerve endings in the particular area, blood flow is regularized. This enhances the energy flow in the particular area. One of the unique characteristics of Indian classical music is that definite times of the day and night are assigned for a particular raga. They must be heard during that time of the day because it's been created as per the body's state, so to have maximum impact. It is also believed that in this given period, the raga attains its melodic beauty and majestic splendor.
So, there are some ragas which are very attractive in the early hours of morning, whereas others appeal in the evening, and some only spread their fragrance near the midnight hour.
One of the interesting things about Indian classical music is that it has an overlapping benefit. In other words, one raga can be applied to more than one ailment at a time. So before we start the music and raga therapy session, here are some things we need to do to get the best desired results. Firstly, we need to find a place where we will be undisturbed, where we can attain a little peace and quiet. Secondly, wear comfortable clothing. Thirdly, if possible, adjust the temperature and light settings to your preference. This session will last for approximately 20 minutes.
We must now completely relax. Pay attention to every body part from head to toe. You can close your eyes at any time if you want to. Pay attention to your breathing. This will lead you to a balanced level of oxygen and allow you to relax. During this process, your breathing will change. It may even become flatter, lighter, slower, faster, deeper, or even unrecognizable. This is normal because your body is reacting and balancing itself. Pay attention to your breathing. This is a way to move your concentration from the outside world to inside. Play the audio and let the music fill your senses. After listening to the recommended classical raga for at least 20 minutes, the session of music and raga therapy comes to an end.
Remember, you may need to use this therapy more than once per session to achieve the desired results.
Be patient, wait for some time, and try again. Avoid having long music sessions on an empty stomach. An ideal music session has to be of an hour with 2 or 3 short breaks in between.
I'm happy to tell you that perhaps I am the first one to know that music has got tremendous effect on my blood pressure. Classical music has cured my blood pressure. Because classical music, the duration is longer and it gives you a longer effect on your mind, continuously for a longer period will definitely cure blood pressure, and my blood pressure has been cured by beautiful classical music. It is the therapy for all our ailments, not only blood pressure, but all our mental ailments too, along with our physical ailments. I recommend very strongly, because I am the evidence alive today to tell for the last 20 years I have experienced, and I am very sure that if you listen to good music, your blood pressure is bound to come down.
My name is Parvinder Singh and I'm a therapist in alternate medicine. Since a few years, I had been suffering from high blood pressure, diabetes, and was taking allopathic medicine. But I was not getting cured completely. The readings were quite fluctuating. I was quite excited to hear about music therapy, but I was not sure what it could do. After a few sessions, I felt some relief to the extent of feeling a lot of relaxation, and it helped a lot in my stress. So, because they say that even most of the diseases are mind related, and this helped me with my change of moods through music, which was mainly Indian classical music. I felt very relaxed, de-stressed, and when after a few sessions I took the sugar level readings and blood pressure, they were almost, to my surprise, quite normal.
I'm Priyanka Soros. I'm a receptionist. During the 3rd month of my pregnancy, I had a problem, and the gynecologist had told me that the heartbeat of the fetus was not heard, it was not found, due to which he had asked me to go for an abortion. I felt very bad, did not want to go for an abortion. I was looking for different ways, and then I heard about music therapy. I did not know if music therapy would do anything. I was not very convinced. But later, slowly, I started my treatment. It was 3 days in a week alternatively for 3 months. And I started feeling the changes. I felt a lot more better, comforted. We used to monitor the growth of the child every 10 days. We could see it growing, and it was growing properly. A lot of changes were seen. And yes, later I gave birth to a very healthy baby.
My name is Rajendra Lakshminarayan Gaur. I work for a recruiting firm as assistant manager. I had a lot of acidity and gastric problems for last 6 to 7 years, where after having allopathy medicine, still I could not successfully clear. I used to vomit. And after hearing the ragas, I used to feel relaxed in my mind, and I used to have no stress, good feelings. I feel much better, and I'm a happy person till today.
My name is Ranjana Gaur and I'm doing photography. मला किडनीचा प्रॉब्लेम होता लहानपणापासून. सारखी शरीरात स्वेलिंग यायची आणि दुखायचं पण पाठीमध्ये खूप तिकडे. तर मी ॲलोपॅथी मेडिसिन घेत होते. मग नंतर मला असं कळलं की डॉक्टर अनिल पाटलांकडे म्युझिक थेरपीची ट्रीटमेंट केली तर खूप फरक पडेल त्या गोष्टीवर. म्हणून मग मी म्युझिक थेरपीची ट्रीटमेंट घ्यायला सुरुवात केली. आणि ती घेत असताना मला ट्रीटमेंट चालू असताना मला फार बरं वाटत होतं. अगदी आतून खूप असं शांत वाटत होतं. सगळा शरीराचा मनावरचा ताण कमी होत होता. एक फार फार म्हणजे असं शांत आणि काम वाटत होतं तिथे. आणि मग ती चालू होती आणि एक साधारण 3 महिने मी ट्रीटमेंट घेतली आणि मला खूपच बरं वाटलं. आणि आता काही मी ट्रीटमेंट घेत नाही आहे, पण कधी कधी मला असं वाटलं तर मी ती कॅसेटसुद्धा ऐकते त्यांच्या त्या रागाची, म्युझिकल रागाची. समजा खूप स्ट्रेस झाला तर मला एक पाठीमागे दुखतं माझ्या खूप, तर तेव्हा मी ते ऐकते, तेव्हा मला खूप बरं वाटतं.
आपली भारतीय संगीत परंपरा इतकी उज्ज्वल आहे आणि ती हजारो वर्षापूर्वीची ऋषीमुनींनी काढलेली सुरू केलेली परंपरा आहे. ते संगीत म्हणजे एक आपल्याला अत्यंत सुंदर टॉनिक आहे. हे माझ्या अनुभवावरून मी सांगतो. मी कुठचंही योगा करत नाही, काही करत नाही, पण नुसता संगीतात असतो. आज 86 वर्ष 86वावं वर्ष चालू आहे. याचं कारण काय? संगीतात तुम्ही मनापासून हे केलं, पारंपरिक आपलं हिंदुस्थानी संगीत, की त्याचं तुम्हाला कुठच्याही प्रकारचं टेन्शन येत नाही. आणि टेन्शन आलं की मनुष्याची तब्येत बिघडली, मग डॉक्टरकडे जाऊन औषधं दवा सगळं घ्यायचं. पण संगीत हे सगळ्यात उत्तम टॉनिक आहे, असं आजकालसुद्धा सायंटिस्ट लोकांनी आता शोध करायला सुरुवात केलेली आहे. म्युझिक गाई म्हशीचं दूध काढताना सुद्धा रेकॉर्डिंग लावण्याचं आता सुरू केलं आहे त्याने. दूध जास्त येते काय का? तर त्यावेळेस तिच्या मनात दुसरा कुठचाही विचार येत नाही, तो सुराने ती भारावून जाते. सूर जिथे आहे तिथे परमेश्वर आहे, तिथे टेन्शन वगैरे दुसरं काहीही होणार नाही त्याला. त्यामुळे संगीत हे फार उत्तम टॉनिक आहे, असं माझं हे एक अल्प मत आहे.
We all of us must agree that 75% of our diseases are psychosomatic. They are related from the mind, and I have personally experienced that music, and particularly our Indian classical music, has got this soothing effect on our mind. And if our mind is able to get controlled with this kind of a music, then surely enough all our physical ailments, whether it's diabetes or heart trouble or blood pressure, it will definitely relieve you of this, plus it will give you a mental equilibrium. The society at large will benefit, and lot of our ailments today which we find are not getting cured or not getting treated, I'm sure music is definitely, and music in the form of Indian classical music will definitely go in a long way to benefit the society at large.
I'm Sandeep Singh Chirasama. I was born and brought up in Kenya in East Africa, but moved to India about 2.5 years ago. Life in the 21st century has come with its own unique tensions and worries and problems. I feel fortunate to be associated with the world of Hindustani classical music. It has been a stress reliever, mostly through Riyaz. Riyaz seems to help me transcend to a very fine plane, which I find it impossible to describe. Ecstasy perhaps is the closest I can use to describe it. I disappear into my world of music every time I'm stressed out, which is on average once a day, and my riyaz with my Hindustani classical music brings me out rejuvenated and refreshed, ready to carry on with the battle that one has every day. I would like to also point out my personal experience with music and performing it, singing. I find that it has brought about a sense of harmony and oneness in gatherings where you have people from all sorts of backgrounds, people who are uneasy perhaps because they do not know each other. Music then transforms itself into a sort of binding force.
Music evokes much response at even at deep cellular level and even at atomic level, because these are vibrations. And basically human beings are made up of vibrations. Everybody knows we are made up of cells and tissues. Tissues are made up of cells, cells are made up of various chemicals, chemicals are made up of molecules, molecules are made up of atoms, atoms are made up of proton, neutrons and electrons. The protons and neutrons are in the center, very small space, and a huge space occupied by electrons which have negative mass, no mass. No mass means sheer vibrations, and very negligible mass is in the center, proton and neutron. So if 99% of the atom is vibrations, what we are made up of course, majority of us are also made up of vibrations. And if there are problems in vibrations, what do you think? What would be most useful? Of course, other vibrations. Other set of vibrations to cure the problem in your vibrations. So at that level also, music therapy could be useful. If music is having so much of effect on my body, mind and soul, I'm sure, because coming from the medical background, I thought that music would definitely have an effect on patients and other people also. So I started doing experiments. I used to get common people who didn't know anything about classical music. The common people, and then I used to sing a certain raga and I used to ask him, "Are, what are you feeling exactly? Do you feel that this is morning or afternoon or evening or night?" Then, to tell you frankly, 99.99% of the times I have seen, then when I used to sing Bhatiyar or when I used to sing Bhupali, Deskar, people used to say it is morning. And 99.99% of the times when I used to sing Marwa, they used to say it is evening. So slowly then I started conducting experiments on how these ragas would affect the vital signs. Say for example, respiratory rate, blood pressure, pulse rate, because these are something can be measured. Majority of the disorders, psychological disorders, are the root cause is anxiety. I started using those raga which would combat anxiety, and I had really tremendous experience when I actually conducted a scientific study in which anxiety disorder, depression could be combated, could be reduced through Indian classical music. Some difficult problems like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, of course they also had an effect, but it would take some time, say 6 months, 1 year of continuously doing treatment apart from whatever medicine they are taking. Right? While doing music therapy, generally if they are suffering from something grave disorder like diabetes or blood pressure, the doses of medicine they were taking were never stopped. But later on, as the therapy progressed, as they could realize that taking those heavy dosages were resulting in hypoglycemia or low blood pressure, automatically the doctor would reduce the doses. So that's how we got the results. And I mean, we could firmly say that music has affected and the blood pressure has reduced. Music has affected that person and the bronchial asthma attacks are reduced. The puffs they were taking were reduced. Or blood sugar level, which was uncontrolled before, was reduced. And mostly about psychological and psychosomatic disorders, music was working wonders. I don't think that music therapy has been established as a complete department, as a complete therapeutic regimen. I think more and more research should be done.
Now, I am basically a heart surgeon by profession. I thought it would help me to de-stress myself when listening to music. We also have music in the operation theatre. You will be surprised to know when we are doing complex procedures, the patients are given pre-anesthetic medication, so they are more or less asleep. But when they are wheeled into the operation theatre, we have some light, either instrumental music or we have bhajans going on. It has helped me in heart surgery in an amazing way. My speed of putting arterial grafts behind the heart in a beating heart surgery, time has become literally half. I used to take almost 20 to 25 minutes to put a graft, now I put it in 9 to 12 minutes. And this is because of the dexterity on the harmonium which I am learning. People say that 90% of the times heart attacks are caused because of stress, mental stress. Now you can imagine the most stressed out individual should be a heart surgeon basically, and it's not wrong, a lot of heart surgeons have also got heart attacks. So learning music gets me away from this profession. For that period of 1.5 hours, I'm a completely different human being. I don't realize I'm a doctor, I don't realize I'm into this world. It's celestial. My Guruji always says, because of your profession, you are able to pick up music so fast. I say because of music, I'm able to pick up my profession even faster, because we are so distressed with music. So this is the power of music. I always tell my patients that Indians as a population are faced with 4 killers. The killers are specifically anger directed at your own body when you cannot take out the anger on others. These are peptic ulcer or acid peptic disease, heart blockages or coronary artery disease, blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes, which is not curable by insulin. Now for all these, if you have music, then that causes de-stressing. It drops down your cortisol levels, it drops down your adrenaline levels, and that causes all these 4 diseases to be at bay. There's a shocking statistics now in American journals where Asian population has been studied, and these 4 diseases are supposed to be present in India. As you know, India is a diabetic capital of the world already. We are heading towards being the most number of cardiac events in the world. By 2030, we will have the maximum population of the world, and therefore younger and younger people will suffer from heart attacks. Time to start Indian classical music is now, so that insomnia, stress, blood pressure, peptic ulcer, mental illnesses, psychiatric illnesses, all these can be kept at bay. They can be reduced, they can be made to disappear from our population. I think stress, a major killer, needs de-stressing agents. Definitely I would recommend classical music to anybody.
When is it that we are not exposed to music? For example, the rustling of the leaves when the breeze flows through the leaves of the trees, or the whistling of the wind, or the waves of the ocean. And I've always realized when I want to feel pacified, when I want to feel, I want to feel that I want to have my taste and share of solitude. These are the natural therapeutic modalities which I've always turned to. So definitely music is, and we are exposed to music right from the outset. It's only later that we realize that this is a part or form of music. More than that, during our ceremonies, during our occasions and functions, for example, during the ceremony, the birth ceremony or the naming ceremony or even the death ceremony, we have various kinds of songs. They uplift us, they can motivate us. For example, we have songs which motivate us towards the patriotic way, towards the nations. Music could make us happy. It could uplift a depressed mind, or it could even spiritually enhance our ecstasy. For example, in temples, the tolling of the bells, or listening to kirtans or bhajans. So these are the various forms of music. I realize that this is how music really works, maybe directly or indirectly. And this is what stimulated me to work with my husband, Dr. Anil Patil, and we began treating patients suffering from various kinds of disorders. And I realized that patients actually, they actually vibe with some kind of music. Sometimes I used to feel that some music is not getting along, and I realized that there are some ragas or some kinds of notes which are actually very much in tow with certain kinds of diseases. And by we realized, we used to take the patients, we used to put the patients in a sort of a semi-hypnotic trance, and we used to expose them to the right kind of music after diagnosing the ailment. And then we realized that that music actually over a period of time transition these patients. For example, we've treated certain very difficult disorders also, psychosomatic disorders, the so-called mind-body ailments, for example like hypertension or migraine or asthma. Such patients, or even patients with mental disorders, or children with scholastic backwardness because they do not have a very stable memory, or who have concentration related problems. These are the patients we treated, and we've obtained phenomenal results. So it's definitely evidence-based medicine. And let me put forth here, we are exposed to medicine right from the outset, right from the time when Lord Krishna said that he amongst Vedas is the Samaveda. Or when it comes to the Western world, it was Mr. Burton, way back in 70s who wrote his book on the something to do with melancholy, and he was the one, he said that music can actually help patients suffering from psychiatric disorders. So we have both kinds of evidences here, the Eastern, the Oriental and the Western as well. So it's a very evidence-based form of therapy which is pleasant and therapeutic, both music. There was this man, and this man was absolutely well qualified, young gentleman, very well qualified, but for some kind of a problem, maybe something associated with his family and his parents, he was somehow not confident, and no matter wherever he applied, despite his sharp intellect and qualifications, he always suffered. He was not able to meet with success. Moreover, so something worse really happened. Later in the life of this man, he came across a young lady, they fell in love, but because of his lack of confidence, he lost his love as well. So when he came to us for treatment, he was in a very deteriorated state of mind. He was absolutely dejected, very depressed, and suffering from all kinds of negative thoughts. So my husband and myself, we took down his history and we came down to the conclusion that the man was suffering from anxiety neurosis coupled with depression. He had, let me tell you over here, he had undertaken lots of antipsychotic treatment. In fact, they were considering the electroconvulsive therapy also for this patient in that time. And out of the fear, his parents and this young man, he had come to us. So we counseled him, we spoke to him, but he was a little adamant. After that, we told him about music therapy and we told him how it works. We put him through a number of sessions of music therapy where we put him through a certain kind of protocol that we have for every patient when we take the patient for treatment, and exposed him to raga with marva thata. We use those particular ragas for him. And initially, he was skeptical, but over a period of time, he himself started telling that I'm feeling better. I can feel that my negative thoughts are reducing and that my mind is becoming calm. I'm able to think positively and able to channelize this positive energy in some positive direction. And over a period of time, he started having reduced conflicts at his workplace also, at his home also, and today we see him as a man who's very confident and doing well in life. So this is one interesting study where I've seen where people even commit suicide and all post fallout in love and failing in love. There have been other cases also. For example, there was this man who was suffering from insomnia and was addicted to some kind of sleeping pills. And he asked us, please help me. I don't want to get addicted to these pills and I want to come off them, but I want to sleep. Also coupled with this, he had some ringing problem in his ear for which he was prescribed this medication because he could not sleep properly due to that ringing sensation in the ear. Forget about the addictive potential of these pills are absolutely known to cause addiction. They are known to cause several side effects such as memory loss, etc. So similarly, we diagnosed his case. We took him through a few sessions of Rag Bhageshri and we realized he did quite well over a period of time. His requirement of these sleeping pills, it came down to a great extent, very distinctly so, and over a period of time he was able to put a lot of gap between his medications. Finally, he did tell us that he was able to sleep without taking the sleeping pills, and in fact he started listening to music, developed the taste, cultivated the taste for this music. I must tell you here, this man had absolutely no flair for Indian classical music. So this is the difference over here, that he was not formerly, what should I say, his mind was not coached into music, the Hindustani classical music.
Music is very effective in producing a deep and a healing state of relaxation.
Now let's try and understand the process in a more scientific manner. Our brain experiences 4 different types of waves, namely alpha wave, beta wave, theta wave, and delta wave. The muscle and nerves of the affected area are contracted when a music note is given and relaxed between the interval of the two music notes.
If music is having so much of effect on my body, mind and soul, I'm sure, because coming from the medical background, I thought that music would definitely have an effect on patients and other people also. So I started doing experiments.
We all of us must agree that 75% of our diseases are psychosomatic. They are related from the mind.
Blood has to flow through a body at a particular pressure range so that a body can function normally. Low blood pressure is a state where the pressure of the blood is so low that it causes low flow of blood through arteries and veins. When the blood pressure is too low to deliver oxygen and nutrients to vital organs such as brain, heart and kidney, they may not function normally and might even get permanently damaged.
Low blood pressure is also known as hypotension. It can cause dizziness or fainting, and it is a good indicator for heart, hormonal or neurological problems. Extreme low blood pressure can cause the body to go into shock, and it is a life-threatening condition.
People are experiencing the power of music and raga therapy. It is fast becoming a part of their everyday life. The experiences shared by satisfied people says it all.
Listening to Raga Malon can bring relief to patients suffering from low BP. This rag is a late-night raga, and it is best suited to be heard just before going to bed. The Madhyam and the Shadja combination has a deep and pacifying effect on the mind, and the swaras of this raga sets a perfect mood to relax.
Let the magic of Raga Malon seep into your body and bring relief to your condition of low blood pressure.
Now let us listen to Raga Malon, sung by Shri Shrikant Deshpande.
हमसे अब तू पर आनता बिलमर हमसे अब तू पर आनता बिलमर मीता बालब की संग ढूंग रलिया कर धन गे रंग रलिया कर धन गे सो धन गे सो
Another raga which is helpful in increasing the level of pressure in the blood is Raga Shahana. Raga Shahana is a very explosive raga and it is sung on a much higher note. Listening to this raga can help the blood pressure rise up from lower levels, thus helping treat patients who suffer from low BP.
नाही मानत मनिया शाह
जब मोहे बुलाए नाही मानत मनिया शाहिम जब मोहे बुलाए जब मोहे बुलाए नहीं मानत मनिया शाहिम जब मोहे बुलाए नाही मानत मनिया शाही जब मोहे बुलाए शाहिम जब मोहे बुलाए नहीं मानत मनिया
So close the doors to this dreaded disease and with the help of music and raga therapy, enjoy life devoid of diseases.
We are sure you had a healthy and relaxing experience with us.
Have a great and a healthy life. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
शाहिम